Hello. I don't know about you, but I love books. Some years ago, this whole wall behind me was just filled with a bookcase completely full of books. We haven't got rid of them, we've just moved them into a different room. I thought I'd show you one of my favourite books, and it might come as a surprise to you because this is it. It's a colouring book. It's actually the Bible colouring book, and it's just a brilliant book, and it's full of all sorts of amazing things. So if I just flick through this, you can have a little look and you can see some of the amazing... Oh, hang on a minute. It's blank. That wasn't quite supposed to happen, but it's okay. We can fix that, because hopefully what we can do is you've brought with you your magic pencil, and we can draw some of your favourite pictures to put into my Bible colouring book. So, have you got your magic pencil? Here it is, this one here. And you just got to pick... Oh, mine's a bit blunt as well. Is yours blunt? Okay, well, if yours is blunt as well, we just need to sharpen it by putting it into the magic pencil sharpener. There we go. Give it a really good sharpen, like that, and we've got it... mine's changed colour. It's gone sort of yellowy green. Hang on. Let's got rid of that. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to think of one of your favourite Bible stories, and then I want you to draw that Bible story in the air, and then what I'll do, I'll count to 3, and I'll get you to, when you draw it, to flick it straight into the screen, and then I'll catch it on the book here. So, are you ready? Start drawing now. You'll have to draw really quickly. So hopefully you've got your favourite Bible story. Should we finish it off now? Here we go, 1, 2, 3, flick it over. Got it, brilliant. Okay, let's have a look and see what your favourite Bible stories were. Oh, look, a shepherd. I guess somebody must be thinking about Christmas, and oh, look, there it is. There's the baby Jesus just there, the star. There's John the Baptist baptising Jesus in the River Jordan there, and I'm so glad that somebody drew this, because this is my favourite Bible story, I think, in the whole of the New Testament. It's the story of Peter, one of the disciples. And Peter and Jesus had been out for a long day with all the other disciples, and then Jesus decided he would go up into the hills at the end of the day to spend some time alone with God praying. And he said to the disciples, guys, you get in the boat and go over to the other side of the lake and I'll meet you over there. Well, they got into the boat and they set off at the end of the day, and soon it began to get dark, and then the wind began to blow, the waves began to get bigger and bigger, and eventually the boat was going up and down and up and down, and they were really kind of worried that they were going to drown, when suddenly, over there, they noticed there was, well, it looked like somebody walking on water. But that's ridiculous, isn't it? Nobody can walk on water. So they looked, and suddenly Peter said, oh my goodness, it's a ghost, it's a ghost, it's the ghost of Jesus. Oh, we're going to drown. Here we are in a storm, the ghost of Jesus is coming to get us. And then someone said, no, it really does look like Jesus though. And they looked really hard, and it did, it looked just like Jesus. So Peter said, Jesus, is that you? And Jesus spoke back, and it was. And Peter said, well, if that really is you, Jesus, can I come and walk on the water as well? Yeah, come on then, said Jesus. Peter suddenly then began to panic. And, well, I think he did anyway. I think, imagine him looking around to the other disciples and go, I tell John, you go, you have a go. You'll be much better at walking on water than me. And I can imagine John going, no, I'm not doing it. Your bright idea, you do it. And so eventually, Peter gets to the side of the boat, takes one leg over, steps out, and then the other leg over, and he's clinging to the side of the boat, steps up, lets go of the boat. And it doesn't sink in, and he begins to walk across the water towards Jesus. Now, I don't know we know that bit happened. I don't know whether the next bit happened quite this way, but I think what happened is next is worked a little bit like this. So I think halfway across, Peter suddenly took his eyes off Jesus, stopped focusing on Jesus, and when he did that, he turned around to the disciples in the boat, and I reckon he probably said something like this, hey, look at me, I'm walking on water, you're not, na 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 na. I don't know if that's actually what happened, but we do know that Peter took his eyes off Jesus and he began to sink into the water. And as he sank into the water, he called out to Jesus and said, "Jesus, help, save me." And Jesus nipped across the top of the waves and he reached down to where Peter was sinking in the water and lifted him up and took him back to the boat. And I think that's just a brilliant story that shows us what happens when we take our eyes off of Jesus and focus on other things. What else have we got? Oh, that's when Jesus fed 5,000 people with just a few loaves and fishes. There's a story there about Jesus meeting a lady at a well there. Oh, this is the sad one. This is the story here of the Last Supper, which was a very special meal just before the Passover. And then shortly after that, Jesus was betrayed by Judas and he ended up being convicted as a common criminal, being put to death on a cross. And he was put to death not because he'd done anything wrong, but he was put to death for all the wrong things that I've done wrong, all the wrong things that you've done and said and thought. But he didn't stay dead on the cross. The Bible tells us 3 days later he came back to life. And there's a picture of him. He was crucified with 2 other men, but when he was put into the grave, 3 days after that, he came back to life, and an angel was there when Mary, one of the disciples, came to see where he was. And he came back to life, and he was with the disciples for another 6 weeks, talking with them and eating and stuff, until eventually he went back to be with God in heaven. But now, the thing is, we've now got some pictures, but it's a colouring book, so we need to do some colouring. So hopefully, not only have you brought your magic pencils, but you brought your magic paintbrush. So, hold up your paintbrush, don't get confused with your pencil. It's your paintbrush this time, because what we're going to do, you've also got your magic paint pots. So you put your paintbrush in your paint pot, and like that. That's why you don't want to get confused. And you've got all the different colours. So I want you to pick one of the stories, and I want you to colour it in, and then we'll do the same thing. When you've got it coloured in, I'll count to 3, and I'll get you to flick that paint in the picture, and we'll catch it on here. Okay? You ready? You nearly finished? Be careful how you're painting. Don't go outside the lines. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, flick! Way, got him. Okay, well, let's have a look, shall we? Let's see how good you are at doing colouring. Whoa, look at that. Pretty jolly good. Yeah, there's the shepherd. There's some boys and girls there. There's the baby Jesus. There's John baptizing Jesus in the river there. And again, this is my favourite story. Can you remember what it was that Peter cried out? He cried out and said, "Jesus, save me." And you know, that's a really, really important thing to remember, because that's actually a prayer. And you know, it's very unlikely that we're ever going to be in a situation where we're walking on the water and we sink in and we call out to Jesus to save us from that. But all of us have different issues and different problems. We're going through different things. We're uncertain about things. And at any of those times, whether it be little things or big things, we can always call out to Jesus and say, "Jesus, save me." And the Bible promises that Jesus will come and rescue you and save you and help you in whatever the situation is that you find yourself in. There's the feeding the 5,000. Jesus on the cross, as we said, he came back to life. There he is, the empty tomb. And because he died in our place, that we can, if we want to, come to him in our prayers, say that we're sorry, ask him to rescue us, to save us, and he always will. Well, I tell you what, I'm really glad that we finished this now, because just at this time every day, this book just goes right back to the beginning, and all those pictures, all that colouring just disappears. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll join you again for another story another day. Bye-bye.